Unit 4, Lesson 5.
Hey guys, welcome back to Unit 4, Living in Families, Lesson 5, Family Conflict and Conflict Resolution. So our learning goals for this lesson will be to recognize the different circumstances which may arise within a family. And we're also going to be recognizing different strategies on how to cope with conflict. Over time, family relationships have changed. 100 years ago, your role would be clearly defined based on your age, gender, disability, etc. Today, you can decide who you are and what you want to be or do. So, strong and effective families perform their functions well. They're able to manage their resources to provide for the well being of the family. And they then delegate responsibility for the necessary work. They also have a clear power structure so that everybody knows their responsibilities, and they are fairly efficient at accomplishing work of the families. They all have problems to solve, though, which requires negotiating and problem-solving skills. Serious illnesses, disabilities, unemployment, political strife, war, migration, and familial issues is what families often have to deal with. In the 1990s alone, 1 in 3 marriages in Canada led to divorce. It is absolutely necessary to provide emotional and mental support to your family. Learn to accept each other's differences, respect and communicate with them, but choose what is best for you. So, on a daily basis, family time allows family members to communicate and share ideas formally. Many children, research has shown, who eat meals with their families are more emotionally stable and successful at school. But increasingly, we are all stuck to our phones instead, which then creates isolation. Family time creates a stable environment for children. It is important to remember that not everybody lives in supportive families. Many times the adults have their own issues to deal with. This can be from marital issues, financial issues, as well as their mental health issues. If problems are temporary, the family bond can resolve. However, unfortunately, some issues are long-lasting and are difficult to recover from. Strong families have a clear power structure which can cause family conflict. Power is the ability to control the behavior of another. You have power when one is willing to do what you need them to do, and it enables you to get what you want, and make sure it's in the most respectful way as possible, such as respect, honor, fidelity, and kindness. So, however, the misuse of power results in unhealthy relationships. There must be a power balance. There must be equality. Power must be shared evenly. Power in relationships can include financial power, which is the ability to provide or not provide money. Physical power, which is the ability to protect or even inflict harm. Emotional power, which is the ability to provide love and affection or withhold and emotionally abuse. And expert power is the ability to solve problems or to create problems for others. But these powers must be equally distributed and should never be abused.
Hi, I'm Susan Winter for SusanWinter.net. Power imbalances can be very tricky in a relationship, and people don't talk about this very often, but I have noticed that these things subliminally affect us. If we trade up too high or down too low, it'll come back to bite us. The relationship will be rocky. And what I mean by that is if you trade up too high and you have a partner that in some way is way above you, you're going to end up resenting them because every time you're with them, you're going to feel like less. If you trade down too low, you're going to have a partner who can't begin to satisfy your needs. They don't understand you. They can't attend to your needs on the level that you need those needs attended to, because who you are is invisible to them. They can't see it. I used to, I traded down for some part of my life, I have to tell you. Not the guy's fault, can't blame them, although I wanted to, I really couldn't. And there's a false sense of comfort, thinking that if you have more, well, certainly you'll be appreciated. And I think as a young woman, I thought that. And I always felt frustrated. I kind of felt like I was a remote control. And I had all these cool buttons that, you know, they're there. You don't have to use them, but they're there. And it would have been nice if a guy kind of knew what that button was. But they wanted the rudimentary buttons they were accustomed to, which were on, off, and because I'm a woman, mute. That's what they wanted. And I always felt like there was so much of myself that I couldn't express. And so there's a discontent in that. What starts off as feeling like I'm safe because certainly this person will see my value. Certainly I hold a position of importance. And we construe that to meaning that we're safe in the relationship. But the absolute opposite is what normally happens. That if there is a power imbalance on either end, one partner feels less than, feels resentful toward the other partner who has more resources, more power, more influence, more whatever, beauty, youth, it doesn't matter, whatever they have, the one partner will feel uncomfortable. And in human nature, we oftentimes seek to soothe this bruised ego by employing our own form of manipulation. Yeah, no matter how evolved you are, chances are you've done it, caught yourself, said, oh, that was ugly. But, you know, people will tend to find a way to press on the insecurity to get back to a normal balance. I think of, you look at good interviewers, okay? Even people like Howard Stern that poke and poke and poke until they get that one spot. Oh, that stings. And then they dig and dig. And that's what an interviewer does to, you know, get a person to react because they've hit that soft spot. So it could be that you have, you know, an incredible career and you're very successful, and maybe you have a poor body image. So your partner who has less on every level may push and push on the body image. Oh, don't worry, I love you anyway. I mean, I love you. I see your beauty, and you know, you whatever. Believe me, I've been there too. So this is what happens. And the funny thing about this imbalance in most relationships, there's one exception where it seems to work. As a matter of fact, it's a fundamental of how it works, and that's in an age gap relationship. I'm not suggesting that you choose this. I'm just saying that it is an option where that difference is inherent in the draw, and because it's inherent in the draw, it makes it work. The partner who's younger knows that they need the resources, the wisdom, the social currency of their elder partner, and that is their value. It's not accessible to them at a young age, and it is the allure, the draw, the attraction, and the desire. And the older partner, male or female, doesn't matter, will see the youth and the vibrancy and the adventure and love to have that infused back into their lives, which is something that age kind of, you know, washes away. So if you find that you're having some problems with a person that you're dating, you might want to take a look at the power balance between the two of you. Now, power can also be perceived power. It can be that a person is intimidated by you. Women hear this all the time. You may even have a guy that tells you point blank, you're intimidating. I've heard that before. I don't feel I'm intimidating. I'm pretty warm and open. I have, you know, a lot of issues like anybody else in different areas of my life. So I find that odd, but again, it is based upon perception. How people see you may be very different than the way you see yourself. So if you're having a rocky road, it could be the power structure. It could be that you are choosing down. You are choosing a mate for security. thinking you're safe when all you are is disappointed, and come away feeling unseen and that your needs are unmet because they've got no idea how to participate in your level of what suits you. Not because they don't want to, they just don't know how. They don't even see it. It's not on their radar. And if you're with somebody who is in a much exalted position from yourself, you're going to always feel just a little bit inferior. And chances are that your ego, to repair itself, will have a go-to place of trying to recapture your own strength. And that will be kind of uncomfortable for you to watch and will be uncomfortable for your mate to experience. So take a look at this. And if you see dynamic differences from the beginning, you may want to think twice before you date that person. I hope this helps you. Susan Winter for SusanWinter.net.
So now, continuing on our topic of family conflict, conflict between teenagers and parents is inevitable. Developing individual identity is crucial, especially at adolescence. And upon finding yourself, you may learn that you are either very similar to your parents or their expectations, or very different. Parents may interpret this as neglecting what they want for you. And it's important to exercise this time with as much respect as possible. The asserting of independence, on the other hand, can result in making decisions differently than what your parents would do. This can include how to wear your hair, what clothes you wear, your code of conduct, your music choice, religion, career choice, etc. And power struggles can have conflict rise from this. This can be from personality differences, power differences, as well as emotional situations. So, it can be more difficult to resolve conflict with parents than with peers, because parents essentially have the legal authority and responsibility to ensure that you are well behaved until age 18. And they're also obligated to provide you with financial support. The social exchange theory, as we have outlined in the previous units and lessons, is that the benefits of the relationship with parents outweigh the costs. You need them more than they need you. So how parents wield their power reflects different parenting styles. Some allow you to make your own decisions, whereas some try and control every aspect of your life. Authoritarian parents can create resentment. They can be rigid disciplinarians, and they may also be trying to protect you from harm, but sometimes it's difficult to see that. And many parents try to occupy the middle ground. This is where negotiation occurs peacefully and democratically. So, how exactly do you get along with your parents? Well, here are some steps. Spend time together. Participate in activities that you both enjoy. Communicate effectively. It goes both ways. Talk about your life, then listen to them. Treat them with respect. This also goes both ways. But you need to try and understand why they are the way they are. And it's also important to express your feelings. Let them know that you appreciate them. Another way is to negotiate solutions. Explain concerns. Listen to their concerns. Try and find a mutual solution that you are both happy with. Be responsible. Do what you say you will do. Respect your surroundings. Apologize when a mistake is made. And be nice, but do not let them respect you either. Respect goes both ways. If these strategies are exercised to the best of your ability, it can increase the relationship quality as a whole. So now I will